Hey, hello, welcome to Lunchtime at the Doghouse. Episode four, no, five, four, four, episode four. Uh, yeah, Carl, threw out a new opening for it. The other one's sort of boring, and Willow says she likes it. Thank you. Yeah, just trying a bunch of stuff out. I'm still playing and tweaking and all that. And I got a bu- I actually got my show prep up here. See which one I want to do first here. Uh, well, one of the big things is for the people in our area, the University of Tennessee fired their head football coach yesterday, and I don't mean just uh your services are no longer needed. It's pack your stuff and get out. There was some NCAA violations, which pretty much violated his contract. So when he was showed the door, he was escorted off the property. In all essence, they also took a couple assistant coaches and a lot of pretty much the new coach coming in will have to start from the ground with a complete new team. Also, the former head football coach, who was the athletic director, has decided it was time to retire conveniently. Um, he says it's because he's 70 years old and da da da. I think they gave the national champion, Tennessee's national champion coach, way out the door. And that's my opinion on that. But okay, let's go back to the thing. Brian says, lovely intro. I smell skunk rocker all over it. Sadly, no. I believe it or not, 30 minutes ago, Brian, that intro did not exist. That's something I just threw together. Uh, Carl says the old one was cute. Hope it comes back every so often. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Carl. And you shared it on Facebook. Thank you, Brian. And dang, sounds like TMC is going to have some fodder for their pages. Yeah, the TMZ Sports for sure. Uh, yeah, this was the firing of the coach. The way it looks is the university fired him to try to keep some of the NCAA heat off of him because there are going to be sanctions. Uh, Tennessee may lose some bowl game rope for that. And Carlene says, "Hey Joe Dog, hey, well, thank you for tuning in." And yeah, Brian, good work. Color, you impressed? Uh, I think it looks like junk, but thank you, appreciate it. And Ruth Jackson is wishing me a happy birthday. I didn't want to bring that up, but if y'all are going to bring it up, yeah, I'll take them. Uh, and Donna Carlene says says the same. Happy birthday. But, if you want to give me a birthday present, you can actually just send us a donation to paypal.me/Joe McKeel. And, you guys know anything that comes in through the shows will be turned back into show prep and to help that out. Wow, the comments are rolling. All right. And Donna Carly says nobody else is over on YouTube. Liked and shared and came over here with the cool kids. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. Just checking stuff out. I got stuff flying everywhere. Oh, and Donna Carlene is not going to like this next topic. It's one topic that she really, really, really deleting this down so I don't go over it again. How many of y'all have ever had a fried bologna sandwich? Huh? Fried bologna sandwich. And actually, Carl, it's on the Joe McKeel and the Joe Dog channel. Thank you, Willow. Thank you. Yeah. And Brian is omnipresent. Yeah. And Carl, all right. Okay, the arguments have begun. But yeah, I love a fried bologna sandwich. Fried bologna sandwich with mustard. And, if you want to, fry you up a egg. Fried egg, slap a slice of cheese on there. That's a good breakfast sandwich. Lunch sandwich, dinner sandwich. Donna Carly says she loves fried bologna. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And Donna's subscribed, but has to search for it every time. I don't have enough of subscribers there yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. And Brian says he's not big on bologna to begin with, but Cookie loves them. Okay. But yeah, I love a fried bologna sandwich. But I also like a meatloaf sandwich. And I just made Brian tongue jump out and slap him upside the head. Fried well, the meatloaf sandwich. I love a meatloaf sandwich. Meatloaf sandwich. Of course, I can't eat the cold meatloaf. I like my meatloaf warm, but I cut me a slice big enough of the meatloaf to go across the bread, then put a piece of cheese on it, nuke it for about 30 seconds, get the cheese to melt down on top of it, and then on the bread, absolutely. But my favorite sandwich, love it more than anything, grilled cheese sandwich with the big bowl or big cup of creamy tomato soup. You tear it in half, you dip it down in the soup. I guess I know what I'm going to be doing when the show ends. We may be running a short show because I just made myself hungry. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh. But yeah. So what kind of crazy sandwiches do y'all like? And Carl says, Brian, meatloaf sandwich. Now we're talking, but the meatloaf must be wonderful to start with. Meatloaf the second day is even better. I don't care how bad your meatloaf is. The next day it's even better. But do not get the meatloaf at Cheesecake Factory. I do not know what that stuff is, but it ain't meatloaf. They don't put the ketchup or tomato sauce across the top of it. It's I don't know what they put on the top of it, but no, whatever they serve is not meatloaf at the Cheesecake Factory. I've never been more disappointed in meatloaf. And Brian says Cookie makes amazing meatloaf. Yes. And for the people that don't make meatloaf, if you got a Sam's Club, they have a ready-to-cook meatloaf and mashed potatoes. You pretty much take the plastic, you preheat your oven, you take the plastic lid off, and you throw it in. Pull it out, and there you go. And Brian says, next time I make a grilled cheese, try putting a thin layer of your favorite jelly on the inside. You get a good cheddar, and you have a wonderful sweet and salty combo there. Might try that. Of course, I also like, believe it or not, a mayo. Something about the mayo when you cook it in there, yeah. And he says, Lambert's in Sykeston Town Missouri has an awesome meatloaf. Home of the throne roll. So does Cracker Barrel. Oh, Cracker Barrel has a good meatloaf. Yes. Yes. And a lot of Brian says a lot of grocery chains like Kroger's has a counter where you can get meatloaf to cook at home. Okay. And Carleen says, I like to mix my cheeses on a grilled cheese. Well, Carly, used to, we had a guy who at midnight on Saturday night would cook us a 5-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. Yes. And it's so funny because he'd only make 8 sandwiches for 300 people. You can bet my ass was first in line. Oh, excuse me. Said the bad word. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. But yeah, that's the, yeah. Oh, we got the sandwiches in. You know, we can talk sandwiches a little more, but I'm gonna throw another little topic in here. You know, for your favorite sandwiches, and I'm going into my show prep page to cover this up. And Brian says he loves the multi-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. Oh yes, oh yeah. He says don't put too much jelly on the grilled cheese. It comes out twice the temperature of lava, but third-degree birds never tasted so good. Yeah, I bet. And then Carl Witzman says, Donna found a bourbon Gouda cheese that I want to get more of and try it grilled. Ooh. There is a little place. It's about an hour and 25 minutes from me in a little town called Crossville, Tennessee. I wasn't ready for cheese talk, but we got into cheese talk. So let me look. Cross. Okay, it's called Smitten's Cheese in Crossville, Tennessee. Smitten's Cheese House. Oh, that when I was growing up, we would go to a campground up there. Carl Witzman says Cross Cheese, loves it. Smitten's Cheese House in Crossville, Tennessee. I know they've been there every bit of 50 years. And when we would go camping, one of my mom's stops while we were there is to go get cheese. We had cheese at my house. I mean, when you buy, the chunk of cheese, you have to peel the wax off of it because they, wrap it in the cheesecloth and then dip it in wax to seal it. Oh, that's some good stuff. And Willow's Cottage, molten lava cheese is great. Yes. And then, sprinkle some feta inside the grilled cheese. Oh, guys, y'all are definitely making me hungry. We might wrap up in about the next 10 minutes because I'm already starving and I got a ton of topics to cover. And yeah, Donna, I started it. Yes. But, I did. I admit I did. Okay. Something else. This is something I got to bring up. When y'all have group chats, please, Carl, you know where I'm going. This is your fault. Willow's Pillow Talk is planning on having me, Ted Davis from Ted Davis Artistry, and Carl Witzman and Brian K. Morris will be on Willow's Pillow Talk this Sunday at 7 p.m. And this morning, Carl says, okay, Willow, I can see it now. You're buttering me up. And my half awake brain pictured Willow spreading warm butter all over Carl, and Carl shivering and going, ooh, now I need brain bleach. I actually had to go take me a heavy shot of some alcohol. Thankfully, I've sobered up now because I needed that to get back to sleep because I couldn't close my eyes and see that image in my head. So, guys, please, if you're going to start a group chat, don't do it that early in the morning. Please. Oh, because my phone kept binging and binging and binging and binging and binging. I just finally had to mute the conversation. It was, yeah, yeah, yeah. Shut up, Christian. oh, God, that was something I did not need. But I had to bring it out because I want everybody else to suffer as bad as I did. Oh, okay. I needed brain bleach. Yes, the screen is that I got going. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on a minute. I'm going to let y'all. I'm going to actually let y'all see. I'm going to let y'all see my list. See how I don't know if y'all can see that completely or not, but yeah. See, I've got it listed here. Let me get back to it. I'm going to actually show you right here. Buttering up brain bleach. Yes. That goes away. And I didn't mean, yeah, I did that. Okay. Brian, have you seen the, okay. All right. Let's see. Brian Morris says, and I'm sitting at my laptop this morning thinking of Willow, me, and a stick of butter. Sorry, am I oversharing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all oversharing a little too much. And then Nick Talkert says, geez, Joe, buttered Carl is not the breakfast of champions. That is clearly a lunch thing. Yes. Okay. Carl Brian says, thinking of the situation, not so much Carl. Sorry, pal. I was definitely up this morning. Shut up, Brian. Okay. Yeah. But Brian, 3D Bot Maker has released a new video on the van races. You will like the ending. You'll definitely like the outcome of that race. And Willow says she was up early to see her husband off. I'm just glad that others were up that early too. Some of us weren't. Okay. Brian saying Carl isn't just for breakfast anymore, Nick. Okay. And he says, I know the link glitched, but the robot report actually jet powered hover car racing. Okay. Don't get that, but okay. He says, I wasn't even thinking that way until Joe responded like that. Okay. Well, I know how you guys are, sort of. And Brian says, ooh, I saw that. It's in his YouTube queue. He's going to catch up on watching it after the show. Thank you. Wait, Willow got you up that early, huh? Okay. Yeah, this show has descended rapidly. We made it a whole 20 minutes and we got to reach up to touch the bottom of the gutter. All right. Breakfast without Carl is a day without sunshine. Aw. And John B. Pica. Thank you, John. Glad you're here. Help change the subject. Hey there, friends and foes. Well, we're all friends here, John. All friends here. Let me pull up my next topic. Yeah, we are going there. Okay, if you see me looking up, I'm covering events going on at Boca Chica, Texas. We had this what looked like a start of a roadblock, but it never actually happened. So I don't know what's going on there. We're supposed to have an event there today, so we'll see what's going on. Carl says, I'm flattered by all the intention. And Carl mocks him and saying, this has turned into never mind the furthermore. Welcome. Well done, friends. And Nick Tockert says, look, I need a snorkel to see the gutter after being too serious. And let this be a lesson to folks. Don't go to bed with your phone. At least learn to use airplane mode so your sleep doesn't get interrupted. Yes, yes, yes. And Carl mockingly says, feeling you, Nick. I'm trying to keep the mood up too in my own filthy way, of course. Well, I'm fixing to go where nobody should go. I'm going to start talking about the P stuff. In my opinion, I have finally figured out that you are not supposed to like anybody that's elected. Hate them all. Yes. And Donna Carleen says, do not use, while you make the use, do not disturb on the phone. And yeah, okay, we'll change that to hate the elected to hate the car warranty people. I actually made one cry today. I knew it was one. I knew it was going to be one of those. Let's extend, we've been trying to reach you about your car warranty. So finally, I'd had enough, so I went for it. Hello. And they say, hi, we want to talk to you about your car. I said, oh, did you have to? And they said, yeah, it looks like your warranty's about up. I said, well, I'm sorry. I don't have that car anymore. That was the car my wife was murdered in a carjacking. And you've just brought up a lot of bad memories. I've been trying to, get through it. And today's actually the 1 year anniversary of the day they did it. And now I don't know if I can take it anymore. I think I'm going to get my pistol, and I hung up on them. So, hopefully I've made one person's life miserable for trying to sell me my car warranty. And Donna Carly says, I love it. Yes, I've got to the point where I'm coming back at them. Yeah, we did that. Now Carl goes, nice acting job there, Joe. And Brian K. Morris says, that is cruel. I love it. The only thing that would have been better is if I had a firecracker. Because I would have lit that firecracker, shot it off in my room right here, and dropped the phone to the floor and not said anything else until they disconnected the call. And Nick Tockard goes, damn, Joe, that's vicious. And is there an Academy Award for internet acting? Telemarketing is a tough job, but sympathy for them ends pretty quickly these days. Yes. And Willow Scholar goes, Joe got dark. No, I got evil. Oh. And Carl says, I like to pick up the phone, let out a blood-curdling scream, and then hang up. Well, what you do, Carl or Brian, I get Carl and Brian mixed up. I know they look nothing alike with You know, the balding heads and a red fez and glasses, but you know, where was I even going? Oh, go ahead and answer, but have the good police whistle. You know, not the little tin whistle, the British police. No, I'm talking about the one the referees use with the ball that spins around. Hi, we'd like to talk to you about, you know, we've been trying to reach you about your car warranty. Okay, hold on just a minute. Blow that whistle right into the phone. Trust me. And then Nick says that could invite the authorities, though, but they suck. Yes. Oh. Carl says, shall I become a telemarketer or a hooker? Wonder how much the heels cost. Okay, I just got a notification of something, but according to what I'm seeing live on video, that is not what is happening. Okay. And Brian Moore says, or air horn. Air horns are good too. Yeah. And then Willow Scholars says, only if she can be your pimp, Carl. Huh. Okay. And John Pica says, I love the responses for the car warranty. When I get calls for discount drugs, I ask if they sell cocaine. Ah, okay. Yeah. And now I'm going to pull a page from something that Ted does that I like. I'm going to start giving a little motivational quote. You know, we're just 30 minutes in, but I'm going to give you a little motivational quote, people. This is something you need to remember. I'm going to start calling this Joe Dog's motivational moment. Making a mistake is acceptable. Making a mistake on video causes safety meetings. Don't cause safety meetings. Of course, you know, with everybody retired, you know, it doesn't really matter. But for people that are watching on replay or everything, don't cause a safety meeting, please. And Carl Witzman says, you really have to be desperate to take that job. Well, Carl, yes, those people that do that are desperate. It's because it is they're mostly in India and their call centers, and the extended car warranty is a scam. And John Pica says, when I get calls from my bill collectors from an 85-year-old father, I pretend to be Detective Logan Smythe of the Nashville Homicide Department. Taking a page from Tom Mabe's book. But I think you said you've been doing that for a long time, so maybe Tom Mabe has stolen your thing. And Brian says, I've taken to watching the scam baiting YouTube channels where they go after the car warranty, fake Microsoft warranties, repair scams. He says they make me smile, especially the ones where they put the key sys on their computer, put the password on it, and then restart their computer. Yeah. And we're getting comments coming in. And Brian says, remember, safety third. Yes, safety third. Brian, if you would put that in real quick, because I remember, yeah, safety third. And truck surfing was a thing in my useful days. Yeah. Don't be the reason why the company has to rewrite their safety manuals. Yes. Yeah, that's what I said, John. And I think Tom may have got it from you. All right. What else is in my list of things to do? I'll see. I've done my motivational. I got to buy me a new mouse. The button on my mouse is just about wore out. Okay. Brian Moore says, Joe Dog, everyone check out Trilogy Media. Oh, I love Trilogy Media. Kitaboga, Scammer Payback. These guys actually work with authorities to close down those places. Yes, I watch all of those. Oh, thank you, Brian. Safety third. The first rule is to remember number 2. Number 2 is to remember number 3. And rule 3 is safety third. Ah, yes. And Starbucks, we call this move the Willow. Don't do it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. And I did not grab my drink, so this is going to be fun. Nick saying, get a vertical mouse. They're so comfortable. Actually, Nick, this is what I use. I love this one here. I hate what they call shifting gears. I like the marble mouses, Mises, those damn things. And I mean, this thing is fantastic. I use 3 fingers. I use these 3 fingers to move the ball. That one to right click. That one to main click. Oh, now what is left? What is left on the list? And Nick saying, Donna says she loves her trackball, especially for gaming, and Nick digs the trackball. Brian Moore is saying, Starbucks has special videos on operating the raspberry cream dispenser. Unfortunately, Willow was out the day they ran it. And Willow says, if my coworkers clean the syrup pumps every night, I wouldn't get shot in the face with the boob as much as I do. Oh, don't get me started about. I consider Starbucks fast food. Don't get me started about the people they hire for fast food. Yeah. But one of my other little topics, we were talking about grilled cheese sandwiches and cheese and all sorts of sandwiches. But how many people have a junk drawer in their kitchen? Okay. And then John Pica says, put out the word. He's looking to hire someone to share posts and video to Facebook groups. If he gets share banned for if I get banned for self-promotion spam, but if a conflict does, it's just someone sharing cool geek stuff. Okay. It's a good idea. And then, unfortunately, I don't. Nick, I'm talking so fast, I can't remember what I said. Butter and syrup mix well. Go. Willow Skylar. Brian Moore says, I love your coworkers, Willow. And Carl says, we have a junk drawer and a drunk drawer. Say that fast 3 times. Oh, and Donna Carlene says, how about 5 junk drawers? We've got 3. And Carl went there. Kitchen Junk Drawer is a great song. And everyone has a kitchen junk drawer. Yeah. I was going through mine yesterday, and that's what made me think of this. I found a 8 megabyte hard drive. 8 megabyte hard drive. I should have had it here to show you. An 8 megabyte hard drive is as big as your CD drive in a computer. That I think Carl just started having PTSD actions. Yeah, 8 megabit hard drive. And Brian says, no, it was Brian. No, it was Brian. It's expected of me. And Willow says, we have a junk dress. We have a junk desk and tools everywhere. Brian says, I've learned to read ahead in the comments. I'm one of the reasons. Yeah. And Carl says, 8 megs. I would have killed for one of those back in the day. I'll cut you a good deal on this one, Carl, if you really want to have another one. And Nick Talker's going, groovy, 8 megabyte drive. I had that. I had on that was a hard drive and backup Linux system. Brian, I can't read what's on the screen. How you translate, I've got no clue. Carl says, now I give away anything less than 32 gigs. Yeah. Whew. Thanks for giving me a breath, guys. All right, let's go again. Oh. Checking Texas again. I am no longer afraid of spiders. Evidently, the spider eggs have hatched, and I have been killing little baby spiders all day. Oh. And Brian K. Moore says, I remember getting a hard drive with 1.6 gig, and I never thought I'd need any more than that. Yeah. I remember when somebody said, well, how much RAM do you want? And it was like, I can get a gig of RAM? Yeah. Who thought you could get by for the rest of your life on a gig of RAM? Practice Joe, I've got 5 years experience on you. Yes, yes. Excuse me, coffee's attacking. And Nick says, sorry, Joe, new keyboard isn't in yet, so bum flipper typer. I understand, Nick. It's Nick, between your bad typing, my dyslexia, and unable to make connection from here to here, we all look like fools. And me, the biggest one. Just all right. That's not what I wanted to. That is not my news story that I was going to read. Okay. Well, now I can't find my news story that I was going to read. It was pretty funny. Oh, well, just trust me. Just start laughing. Just laugh. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, that was my news story. Thank you. Oh. And Nick says he used to get by with 100 meg zip drive. Okay. I sort of remember those. Willow saying, you're doing good, Joe. Don't be too hard on yourself. Hey, nobody is harder on a worse critic on myself than me. But I understand it gives me motivation. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that the Stupid O'Clock crew did. Yesterday was Lewis Lee's birthday. And we dropped a special surprise recorded video for Lewis. I told him that I had made up a new intro But by the time I got everything in it that I wanted in it, and all, it came out to about 3 minutes long. I need him to look it over and see what I can trim out. I know how to cut it out to where we can make it work, but just look it over and, send it to him. And let me find it real quick. I'm actually going to play you the opening to that. I think it's probably got it in stupid. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to play this for you real quick. This was the beginning of the video that he got. But that's how we started it out for him. We're actually going to play it again on Stupid O'Clock. I haven't got it uploaded yet. And Ted Davies has hopped in there. Hey, Ted, great show this morning. Really like that. And Brian goes, Willie, you think Joe's hard on himself? You should see his self-assessments. And then John B. Pikus says, Joe, did you see the photos today of the Mars rover sent back of an armed Martian in an R watching the road? No, I haven't seen it. Tag me in it because I would like to look at that. Okay. And Carl Witzman's saying, Ted, welcome. Now, Carl, do we say Ted like they said Norm at Cheers? And Brian K. Morris is commenting, saying hi, Ted, and also tell him he had a great show. And then, okay, there is the link to that one. I'm going to have to check that out. And Carl says there's only 3 of us over here. Majority got on Facebook, but we get the better video. Yes. And sooner, Carl, the 2 seconds make a difference. Aha. And Ted says, thanks, Brian. Hey, Carl. And Willow goes, oh, that's cute, talking about the video that we made for Lewis. And you're very welcome, Ted. I'm glad. I realized I changed brands and I can't do it. So I got to get back over here. And then get back over here, because I forgot to say that Lunchtime of the Doghouse is a proud member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check out our Facebook at bit.ly/RT Broadcasters for a schedule of our programs. Yes. And also, don't forget our Stupid O'Clock Facebook group, and then our Armchair Rocket Science page. But most importantly, of all the YouTube channels you need to tune into, Brian K. Morris, bit.ly/YouTube BKM. Capitalize where you need to properly capitalize. And also Hallocon.com. Watch that page soon. You're starting to see you'll start to see some updates coming real soon. And I just cleared that off. Go away. And also, to advertise on this show, drop me a comment or send me a message. I've got a first 5 package, first 5 advertisers. I got a great package for you. I promise you cannot argue with the price that I'm going to quote you. All you have to do is just get in touch with me, and I promise you, you cannot pass up this package if you just ask for it. And back to our comments. Carl Witzman says, yes, we're just like Cheers, except you have to get your own damn beer. Ted says, no beer, just scotch. And Donna Carly says, hey, Ted, great show. And Donna Carlene says, John, that is funny. I'm going to have to check that one out afterward. And then Carl Witzman says, on Wall Street, they fight to get info 2 seconds ahead of the other guy. I just could not take stress like that. It's not worth it. And then on the Stuff They Don't Want You to Know podcast, they call their listeners conspiracy realists. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. But for now, I'm also going to throw some shout outs. Thank you, Brian, for the love, and to Donna, Carlene, and Carl Witzman for the big thumbs. Appreciate it. And Ted is thanking Donna for bragging on his wonderful show today. Yeah, I was listening to it as I was doing show prep. Actually, some of the stuff I pulled up came that I actually typed in. Ted, you've already missed it. You're going to have to go back and see my things of it. But so far today, what have we covered? We covered how to make grilled cheese sandwiches, how to make bologna sandwiches. Oh, fried bologna sandwich. And John B. Pike says, pro tip, URLs are cheap and free to forward. Bitly domain names only work properly if you can click the active link. RTBbroadcasters.com would only cost $11.99 on GoDaddy. Okay. Carl Witzman says you talked about me on Coffee with Carl show, but I slept through it. Yeah, I had to. And John B. Pica says, like cerealboxpodcast.com. Okay. I'm going to have to check into that. John, I got a couple domains that need to be re-upped, like the Northwest Georgia Comic and Toy Expo and the Northwest Georgia Cosplay Sale, which is something I hope we can get running again real soon. Again, I'm just checking updates on Texas. I've got 3 cameras running up here, 3 different views of stuff going on. Oh, I bet that sounded good. Okay, don't do that again. All right. We are coming up on about 5 minutes to the end of the show. So if anybody wants to throw a link to something real quick, now's the time to get it posted up, because I will definitely plug your show. I'm like Brian. I like being a shameless promoter. Go away. All right. John B. Pica says, bologna sandwich. Pro tip, use mayonnaise on the bread instead of butter for a mind-blowing experience. Mustard. Good mustard on good mustard with fried bologna. Fried egg with the yolk busted, slice of cheese. Of course, put the slice of cheese, put the bologna down, then the egg, then the slice of cheese. As soon as the egg comes out of the skillet onto the thing, cheese on top, and slap the bread on top of it to let the heat from the fried bologna and the egg melt the cheese down into all of it. Then you got it. And John Pica says, anyone helps on the URL and web forwarding, he'd be happy to help. And Donna Carlene says, Barnes & Noble, just click the link on the Facebook page on the replay, and that'll be it. And that's where you can get her latest book. Oh, and Brian K. Morris says tonight on the Clever Title Pending show on his YouTube, for a great interview with Christian Basil on Clever Title Pending, also part of the Rising Tide Network. John Pica says the League of Impossibilists at www.impossibilist.com. And Brian says that's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. For your sword services, youtube.com. Click the link. And Joe, welcome. Joe D. McPhee, thank you for tuning in, and you finally caught it. But we're right here at the end of the show, so we will, I start the show about 12:05 Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then John B. Pica says, Back of the Cereal Box is also looking for interesting and exciting guests. And Brian K. Morris says, and at 10 a.m. Eastern, join him for the 90-minute episode of Never Mind the Furthermore for creative conversations and coffee. 90 minutes. Can you do it? That's the question. And Carl Whitzman says, I need to get caught up on the Back of the Cereal Box. He's so behind on his viewing list. Yes, I am just about to get to the point of trying to catch up on everything that if I miss it, I apologize. I will try to catch the next one. And John B. Pica says that's what he's talking about. www.johnbpica.com is the place to find my books. And Alexa, stop. That is that song was called Closing Time, which means it's closing time for the show. Real quick, I am lost. Where is? Okay. Nick Talker has thrown out here. A dear friend passed suddenly, and if you can help his widow and children, please do what you can. There's a GoFundMe set up there. Yeah, definitely. I will try to drop a few coins in there myself just as soon as I can. And Brian says, Joe Dog, he will make the 90-minute show because something is coming up, and I understand. And Ted Davies says, have a great day, everyone. See you on the shows. Joe, great job on the show. Thank you. That means so much. And Brian K. Morris says, same here, Carl. Need to catch up on John's show, too. Hey, welcome, Teresa Dunn. Thank you, but we are closing out. Brian K. Morris says, closing time. I love that song. Teresa Dunn, Amazon. Poetry, Expressions, DP. Click the link. Guys, we're running out of time real quick. Everyone here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share on this YouTube page. Yes, definitely. And up to YouTube, back over to Facebook, Brian is telling Nick, please share on the Rising Tide page and on his. Carl Whitzman saying, great show. Thank you. And Brian K. Morris says, and the reason has nothing to do with me. I understand. Cookie wants to eat early. And Brian Morris says, fantastic job as always. I really look forward to this show. Thank you, Brian. Brian, if I can get to be half of what you do on the show, I will be blowing people out of the water. And Donna Carly Carlene says, great show, Joe. See you later. Thank you. And pulling a page out of Ted Davies' book, I am going to close it out the way it started.